You know that feeling when your work life is just a complete juggling act? You've got clients, team members, a mountain of projects, and it all just feels like chaos. Well, what if there was a tool designed specifically to bring some serious order to all that chaos? Today, that's exactly what we're diving into, a tool called Asana. I mean, does this sound at all familiar? You're hunting down project updates in an email chain from last week, trying to find the latest version of a file in some random chat thread, and honestly, nobody's 100% sure who's doing what or when it's due. It's a super common problem, right? But it absolutely does not have to be a reality. Okay, so let's get into it. We're gonna cut through all the noise and break down exactly how this platform, just this one tool, really aims to solve that universal headache of workplace disorganization. So let's start at the very beginning. What is Asana, really? It's a name you've probably heard thrown around, but let's get a really clear picture of what it actually does at its core. Okay, so that's the official kind of corporate description. But what it really means is that Asana is meant to be the one central place for all the work your team does. Think of it as the single source of truth that gets rid of all those scattered emails, messy spreadsheets, and random sticky notes. The goal is to give everyone total clarity on what needs to get done. Now, this analogy right here is probably the quickest way to really get Asana's power. If you like the visual cards and columns of Trello, the super detailed tracking you get in Jira, the simplicity of a shared calendar, and the power of Workflow Manager, well, Asana basically takes all of that and rolls it into one clean, simple package. And when I say everything, I mean literally everything. From your own personal to-do list for the day, all the way up to these huge, complex client projects with a dozen moving parts. It handles team communication, it maps out entire workflows, and it can even run company-wide operations. I mean, there's a reason that giant companies like Google, Amazon, and Uber use it to keep their massive teams on the same page.
All right, so how does it manage all of that stuff without becoming a cluttered mess itself? Well, the secret is in its incredibly simple and logical structure. And if you can understand this hierarchy, you've basically unlocked the key to everything Asana can do.
And here it is. The best way to think about it is like a set of those Russian nesting dolls. So at the very top, you've got your workspace. That's your whole company. Then inside that, you create your teams, like marketing or engineering. Each one of those teams has its own projects, like the fall ad campaign. And every single project is built out of individual tasks, which you can break down even further into subtasks. It's just a super intuitive way to keep everything organized, from the 30,000-foot view all the way down to the tiniest detail. And what's so great is that this structure goes all the way down to the individual task level. Because a task isn't just a line of text. No way. It's like its own little command center. You assign it to someone, you give it a due date, you can write a detailed description, attach all the relevant files, you can even add your own custom fields, tags, and set a priority. And all the conversation about that specific task happens right there, so you never have to go digging through your email to find contacts ever again. Okay, so having a really organized to-do list is great for sure, but that's just scratching the surface. Where Asana really shines is in what I like to call its superpowers. These are the advanced features that take it from just a simple task manager and turn it into a powerhouse for getting work done. One of its best superpowers is flexibility. See, not everyone thinks or works the same way, right? So Asana lets you look at your work in a bunch of different ways. You've got the classic to-do list view, you've got the Trello-style board view for that visual drag-and-drop progress, there's a timeline view, kind of like a Gantt chart for mapping out big projects, and of course, a simple calendar view. This means a project manager can live in the timeline view to plan ahead, while a designer might prefer the board view to move their tasks along. And they're all looking at the exact same data. But as awesome as all those views are, this is where the real magic is. The single biggest time saver, the absolute game changer in Asana, is automation. It's the ability to just get rid of all that repetitive, manual work that slows every single team down. So, think about it like this. You can set up these simple if this, then that rules to handle all the routine stuff. For example, when a new task gets created under design, it can automatically be assigned to the lead designer. When a task gets dragged into the ready for review column, it can automatically ping the project manager. When a deadline is getting close, Asana can automatically bump up the priority. These little automations, they add up and save just countless hours of boring admin work. And Asana isn't an island. Its power gets seriously amplified when it connects to the tools your team is already using every day. And we're not just talking about a couple of integrations here. We are talking about over 200 of them. This means you can get your Asana notifications right inside Slack. You can attach files directly from Google Drive, you can link tasks to code commits in GitHub, or create tasks right from an email in Outlook. And with a tool like Zapier in the mix, the possibilities are, well, they're pretty much endless. Asana is really designed to be the central nervous system for your entire workflow, not just another app you have to check. Okay, so all these features sound fantastic in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's take a quick look at how different kinds of teams are really using Asana to make things happen. So for example, a marketing agency can manage their entire content calendar from the first idea all the way to hitting publish. A sales team can use it as a visual pipeline to track leads from first contact to a closed deal. HR can build out a perfect repeatable onboarding process so no new hire ever feels lost. Honestly, its flexibility is its greatest strength. It can be bent and shaped to manage pretty much any kind of structured work you can think of. So, we've covered what Asana it is, how it works, and what it's capable of. Now for the final and probably most important question, is it actually the right tool for you? Let's quickly break down the pros and cons to help you figure that out. All right, on the pro side, it's got a beautiful, really easy to use interface. Those multiple project views we talked about are a huge plus, and the team collaboration tools are top notch. And of course, that built-in automation is a massive win. Now, on the flip side, the free plan is, well, it's pretty limited. You really need a paid plan to get the best features, like the timeline view and those powerful automations. And for someone working all by themselves, or maybe a tiny team just starting out, it can feel a little bit overwhelming at first. So, here's the bottom line. You should seriously check out Asana if you find yourself nodding your head to this list. If you want a clean, powerful tool to manage your projects, if you work with clients or run a small business, if you're juggling a ton of deadlines, and especially if you want a structured system with powerful automation, then yeah, Asana is probably one of the best choices you can make. And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Just imagine for a second, when all the status updates are clear, every deadline is visible, and everyone on the team knows exactly what they're responsible for, what becomes possible then? What could your team, or even just you, achieve with that kind of perfect clarity?